Hey guys, in this video we're going to be talking about inequalities. So, an inequality states that two quantities are not equal or may not be equal. So let's kind of review our symbols. So there's greater than and less than. I always think about less than looks like an L. If you hold up an L on your finger, it looks like a less than symbol. That's how I remember L is less than, or a greater than symbol. And we're not going to, remember the alligator eats the bigger one, but we're going to start using the greater than or less than words. So greater than, some words in that can mean it are more than, above, less than could go with fewer than or below. There's also now greater than or equal to and less than or equal to. Greater than or equal to meaning the number is bigger, or it could be equal, or, okay? And that's going to go with at least or no less than. Less than or equal to means it could be less than, or it could also be equal, and at most or no more than. So let's practice. The class average is greater than 87. So it's not going to be 87, so we can cross off the 2 equals 2 signs, but it's going to be bigger. So our number is going to be 88, 89, 90. Okay, so which one shows that? Plug in for Y, 88, and see which one works. This one is going to be the answer. Y is greater than 87. So I plug in Y, 87 or 88 for Y. 88 is greater than 87. That is true. There's at least 19 people in your class, meaning there could be 19, there could be 20, there could be 21. So it's not going to be equal to, or it could be equal to. So I plug in for P, 19, 20, 21, and it's going to be true for this one. So 20 is greater than or equal to 19, 19 is greater than or equal to 19. Let's look at the next one. The temperature today will be at least 10 degrees. So what I do for these is I write my variable and my number. And then I think about which one is at least. So I think about what my numbers could be. Well, it could be 10, it could be 11, it could be 12. It's going to be at least that number. So it's going to be higher than that. So X is going to be greater than or equal to 10. There can be no more than 33. So we're going to have X, we're going to have 33, no more than, meaning 33 is the biggest number it could be, but it could be 33. So X is going to be less than or equal to 33. Yesterday there was less than 2 inches. That one's easy. That's just going to be the less than symbol. X is less than 2, meaning it could be 1, it could be 2. Sorry, it can't be 2. It could be 1.5, but not 2. There is at most 12 gallons, meaning the most it could be would be 12, which could be equal to. So 12 is going to be the bigger one, so it's going to be X is less than or equal to 12. Again, think about some numbers that would work and plug it in and see if they're true. There is at least 25 yards left of fabric. So we're going to have X, and we're going to have 25. At least it could be equal to, meaning it's going to be greater than or equal to 25, because it could be 26, but not 24. And it could be 25, that's why we have the equal to sign. Last Wednesday, there was more than 3 inches, so X is greater than 3. For these next ones, you're basically just going to plug it in and see if it's true. Just like we did last time, or last 2 weeks ago, I think, with equations, you're going to do the same thing. But this one, for inequalities, there can be more than one answer. There can be more than one yes. Okay, so just plug it in. 5 is greater than 6. That is not true. 6 is greater than 6. That is not true. And 7 is greater than 6 is true. Show that substitution to help you. So here we go with some negatives. It's okay. So -1 is greater than or equal to -2. So think about a number line. We have 0, 1, 2, -1, -2, -3. Okay, think about the closer to 0, the greater it is. So -2 is farther away from 0, so this is not true. Is -1 less than or equal to -1? Yes, that's true because it's equal to. -1 is less than or equal to 0. Yes, that is true. 0 is greater. So now let's talk about graphing. When you're graphing these, you're going to put a dot at the number, okay? It's either going to be an open or closed circle. If it's an open circle, that means it's not equal to that number. So that's just going to be a greater than or less than. If it could be equal to, it's going to be a closed circle, meaning it could equal that number, okay? And then we're going to talk about the direction of the arrow and what numbers get included. But the open or closed circle depends if there's a little line underneath of it. Sometimes people think about it as like a pencil and you color in the dot, color in the circle at that number. So here we go. H is less than 22. So you're going to draw your numbers. We have 21, 22, 23. You can just do a few numbers on either side. And it is going to be an open circle at 22 because 22 is not included in this number. And it's every number less than 22. So you're going to draw your line going this direction because it's every number less than 22. Sometimes you can think about it as like this is like an arrow pointing to the left. It only works if your variable is on the left. So I tend to rewrite my inequalities and then use that trick. But always plug in a number and make sure it's true. Because if I plug in 22, 22 is not less, or sorry, 23 is not less than 22, but 21 is. So just check your numbers on those. So for this next one, I'm going to rewrite it with the variable on the left, and you just flip the sign. So M is less than or equal to 75. So I'm going to draw my numbers. It's going to be a closed circle this time because it could be equal to. And again, it's going to be pointing to the left because 74, it makes this true, but 76 does not. Okay. So on this one, we're going to do V is greater than -10. So remember on your number line, we're going to have -9, -10, -11. It's going to be an open circle. I have these switched around. Because think about it, if you have zero would be over here. So then it would be -7, -8, -9. -10 would be over here. So I'm going to rewrite it so it's a little bit better. So -6, -7, -8, -9. 10, -11. It's going to be an open circle pointing this direction because that's the way the arrow is pointing. It's an open circle because it is not included. And then on this one, if you plug in -8 is greater than -10, that is true. I want to go back to this one real quick and redo my number line. I did it backwards on accident. So if we have 0, we would have 1, 2, -1, -2. Okay, those answers are still true, but I just had drawn the number line backwards. So here we go. Let's practice drawing them and writing them and then drawing them. At least 15 people in the waiting room. So we're going to have X and we're going to have 15. So there's going to be 15 or more. So if 15 is greater than or equal to, X is greater than or equal to 15. 14, 15, 16. Going to be a closed circle pointing to the right because our number is going to be 15 or greater. Okay, so go ahead and the roller coaster can hold no more than 60 people. Go ahead and write your inequality and then solve it and then come back. So I hope that you got X is less than or equal to 60. We have 59, 60, 61. It's going to be a closed circle pointing to the left because there is not any more than 60. it could be 60, and it could be 59. I have an extra slide there. I'm going to just go ahead and delete that. And go to the next one. The temperature in Alaska is less than -7 degrees. So we have X and we have -7. So it's going to be less than symbol. So remember, the 0 would be over here. So then we would have -6, -7, -8. It's going to be an open circle pointing to the left. So remember, less than. So -8 would make this true. Or -9, -10, because it's farther away from 0. Hope you guys enjoyed this inequality video.